purposes.
Yeah, it's important. You got to play good games every time out. Wichita State's proven to be a tough game every time we played them, and it's nice to have the flexibility to. I don't think we could play tomorrow. When you look at the field, it's frozen right now. It won't thaw today either, and it might thaw tomorrow. But Wednesday gives us a chance to play in an environment where at least the players can warm their bodies up enough to go out and settle the game via baseball, right? So, yeah, we're looking forward to the game. The strength of the Midwest is a lot of the really good crossover games from the Missouri Valley and the Big 12 and kind of across this area, Oral Roberts, as you mentioned. So we play tough midweek games, that's for sure. Wichita State's definitely one of them.
I know when it was set for Tuesday, Gary Ward was supposed to come back to throw the first pitch. Do you know if he'll still be able to be here Wednesday?
I don't know. I hadn't talked to Coach. I hope he does. It's great. It'd be great to see him. I'm not sure, though.
Him and Coach Stevenson, can you just talk about what they've meant for these two baseball programs and really college baseball as a whole?
No, they're both amazing. I don't know of two guys that in this region of the country that probably did more for college baseball and its growth than obviously Coach Ward here and Coach Stevenson at Wichita State. They built something out of nothing in both cases. What Coach Ward did here is nothing short of amazing. What Coach Stevenson did at Wichita State, also nothing short of amazing. The fact that those two things happened kind of parallel to one another, 2 hours apart, is pretty cool. And the great rivalries that formed, the great games that were played, I can remember those like it was yesterday. So I think they're both on the Mount Rushmore of college baseball coaches with Coach Garrido and Mike Martin and a couple others. So those guys they're legends of the game.
What was it like as a kid? Because you had a front row seat to some of those. Your dad was so involved as a pitching coach with G-Dub, and then we were talking about Brent Kemnitz as a pitching coach.
A lot of fun. Talk about heated, talk about competitive, talk about just good old-fashioned boys playing ball and programs fighting for space in the college baseball hierarchy. And then you started looking at the road to Omaha and the way those games. Usually the two schools found themselves going head-to-head for a trip to the World Series.
Even in Omaha played each other.
And the amazing players, too. You think back to the great Shockers and obviously the great Cowboys. Those were some awesome games. So that's kind of what I always thought as a little kid why you wanted to do this, was to have those moments when people filled up the stands and the games were important to people and the players were playing hard and fierce, and that was okay. That was healthy. That was I thought that was awesome. So, yeah, they've had some great ones. And we've obviously continued that series and played home and home with Wichita State each year, and plan on doing so.
Looking ahead to
Go ahead.
to the series in California, have any of the guys played in Dodger Stadium before?
I don't think so, unless maybe one of them got to do an All-Star game or something I'm not aware of. But the trip to Los Angeles, once we get done with the Wichita State game, that'll be a big trip for us. We're looking forward to good weather, great challenges. Looking forward to the experience of playing against 3 different teams and 3 different sites and 3 different days. Quite a lot to throw at our group. Should be good for us and help us grow.
What kind of knowledge has Bryce brought to the team, having played in California, played some of those teams before?
He probably will be familiar with some of the players or maybe their style of play on a couple of those teams. So that's good. But a lot easier to scout nowadays than it used to be. There's a lot more video out there, so we can watch our opponents more than maybe we did in years past. But he definitely probably has a good memory of the players on those 2 teams that were there the last few years.
As you look past on the series this past weekend, the pitching, every level seems to be really solid right now. Mm-hmm. And I thought especially exceptional was what Mitchell Stone did on Saturday.
Well, we, looking back on the 3 games, they were tough games to play. I give the kids a lot of credit. They competed well. They never complained about the elements, which were challenging. And, one of the games we got to shift our way late. The other 2 games, they were able to shift it their way late. You can go back over the course of 9 innings and point out a lot of the good things that went on, and you can point out some of the things that you got to improve on. But Jensen gave us a good, solid start. I think you'll see him continue to get deeper into games as his pitch count, his efficiency go up. Mitchell did a great job in his start of going 7 strong on a tough day to pitch, and did so on 77 pitches. And I think Logan probably threw a little better than his line indicated. A little bit of bad luck in there for him. So there's really no approach other than to learn from the previous outing, analyze the outing, the video, talk to the kids about their mental outlook while they competed, and then make the next necessary adjustments moving forward. But I think there's a lot of things that are good. You can't let a couple of bad bounces or things that don't go your way make you feel less excited or less optimistic about your team. But at the same time, the urgency to work is right there in front of you. And I think really for us, it's just a matter of getting in a routine. We just had to fight the elements to get in a routine, and that's the challenge in front of us, so we just got to keep answering it.
What's it like to see Jensen back out there and throwing well again?
It's awesome. I mean, he's worked hard to get back, and as I kind of said a week or two ago, for me, he's been back for quite some time now. Just last year, he made his return to the mound. He had a successful summer. He had a really good fall. So we've gotten really comfortable with where he's at, and that's because of the hard work he's put in to get back.
Jensen mentioned how Andrew Heaney had bought you guys that tracking system that tracks the pitch rotation, velocity, stuff like that. What's it like to have him still connected with the team and doing stuff like that?
Well, Andrew's been a great friend to OSU baseball. He's a loyal ex-player who loved his time here. He's been really open about that, how much being here meant to him and how much he loves Cowboy baseball. And he's just been a very giving soul when it comes to, hey, what can I do to help this program? And what are things that I can do to help the players inside the program? And his gift a couple years ago to provide some updated technologies allowed us to teach our players about the game in the modern technology era, to use that as coaches to instruct, and also to help make sure our players are getting exposed to professional baseball in modern ways that helps people evaluate them. So Andrew's just he and his wife are really, really loyal and have been great partners with us, and we're just glad he loves Oklahoma State so much that he would give back of his hard-earned money to help these kids have a good experience.
What kind of impact do you think playing in Dodger Stadium will have for your guys?
Should be fun. I coached this tournament once before, about, 10 years ago, I guess. I was a coach at Vanderbilt, and we actually played Oklahoma State on a Sunday in Dodger Stadium. So I know the Cowboys have been there once before since I coached against them. And it should be a thrill for our players. And these kids have been great. We've been getting up to play and excited to play and want to play well, and put them in a good environment and good weather and a venue like that's what this is about. It's about exposing our team to some experiences that will grow us and make us more and more prepared for those stages when we get to them. So these should be fantastic.
Are there any elements of Dodger Stadium that are making their way to Obrate? Anything that you saw?
Dodger Stadium? Well, it's kind of a historic one. It's unique. It's got about 5 decks on it, if my memory's right. And as long as the sun shines out there, I hope that's the one common element. It's the sun. But Dodger Stadium, that's kind of one of those classic, slightly retrofitted stadiums that they went back in and cleaned up. The fact that it's Dodger Stadium ought to be pretty cool. I think our guys have all seen enough games on TV there to realize it'll be a fun place to get to walk in and play.
There's obviously a lot of connections between this program and that organization.
Yeah.
What do you think is the value of that?
Well, it's cool. I got a phone call from Billy Gasparino this morning, who was my roommate here at Oklahoma State and a great lifelong friend who's the scouting director there. So it's nice to have people on the other side. Glad that we're coming out there to play, and we'll look forward to seeing him. He's a great former player here. So, again, for your players, we have a number of kids that, in the Dodger system. That's kind of neat. So you always develop a rooting interest for organizations if you know someone in it. And for us, Billy spoke at our banquet about 3 years ago when he was put in the Cowboy Baseball Hall of Fame. So I think our players naturally have followed them, and one of our former employees is a scout for them now too. So yeah, there's some tie-ins there, but I think they're going to shuttle us on there about 10 o'clock in the morning Sunday. It'll be an early game. We'll get it in and take on the Michigan Wolverines.
Do you remember how that game turned out that you coached in Dodger Stadium?
I think the Commodores won that game. I don't remember the score, but I want to say Vanderbilt won that game. Yep.
What do you think has made Houston so successful in his first couple of weeks at the plate?
Well, he's been getting good pitches and hitting them. He's not let good pitches go by. When he's had one to hit, he's been ready for it, and that's a good thing. That's being ready when you go to home plate. That's having a plan. So he's been ready. He's had a plan. I think he's got an instinctive ability to hit the ball, which is obviously a skill. So that's part of what makes him a good player. And then probably the fact that I don't think he's overthinking it much. I think he's, as you say, see ball, hit ball. I think he's in a nice place when it comes to that. He's seeing the ball and hitting it hard. And from there, probably don't want to complicate it a whole lot more, right? Over time, people may start pitching him differently once they see him. But right now, he's doing a great job of keeping it simple, and he's consistent.